Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios and the Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Pat Chamberlain.
Hold on. I feel like I'm having an audio issue here. There we go. Sorry about that. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTabacco.com. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Mr. Pat Chamberlain. You're looking a little bit more vibrant tonight.
A little more vibrant.
Yeah.
Very slightly.
That's nice.
5% more vibrant.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You look good. You look happy.
Upward trend right now.
Yeah. Look real peppy today.
Yeah.
Must have been a good week.
Yeah.
Did you get laid?
No.
That's too bad. That's too bad. It's okay. It's all right. You'll live. I know you'll live. But anyway, it's good. It's good to be back. I haven't been on for 2 weeks. Didn't do a show last week because I was traveling. I was in Las Vegas for TPE and just wasn't really going to try to do a road show. I the thing is I used to do the road show back in the day. Like I'd set up in my hotel room or like it's just not worth it with the time change and like I got to rush to get off the floor to get set up for a show and then it's not worth it. So it's just better if I just wait until I come back and then I get to fill you guys all in on what I saw and experienced at the trade show. But we have a couple of things that are coming up tonight. I'm going to talk about TPE. Not too in depth. I'll hit the good points, but we're really going to get into it on Saturday night with Spare Notes with Coop, and I know Coop has a lot to say about it. So I'm trying to save most of that for Spare Notes. So mark your calendars as Saturday night. I think we're going to try to start at 8 p.m. I'm trying to move Spare Notes to 8 p.m. I think 9's a little too late. I mean, I'm a new dad. I don't really have the energy to be up all night and then be up super early in the morning with my toddler. So I try to start the show early as I could be done. But other than that, yeah, mark your calendars. We will be going live Saturday night. Spare Notes, Coop will be with us. We'll really get into TPE and some other topics. Industry is kind of heating up right now. A lot of things going on, and then of course the trade show is only just. I think we're about or just under. Coop gave me the go ahead for 8 p.m. So we'll see you at 8 p.m. We'll be live 8 p.m. Saturday night. You good with that?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So Pat will be here too. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Coop threw me off. It's okay. Coop. It's not your fault. But I'm glad he chimed in. Anyway, yeah. So we'll talk about that. But tonight we're gonna reveal the first winner of our Saka Roulette Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust contest. We're gonna read a bunch of the submissions, and then we're gonna decide which one we like the best because. I don't know. Some of these are pretty like right for the gut. Some of them are like, I really want it to be like a good laugh, and then some of them are just like, "Fuck you, Steve," and it's like, whoa, that's kind of aggressive. So, but I'm gonna take everything into consideration. But we on display here. Not everything is up for grabs. I want to make that very clear because I'm gonna get an email next week. I only got the cigar box and the mug. The box and the mug are up for grabs. The rest of this is additional flair to celebrate Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. We have our Saka Squash statue and some DTT selections on display. Why don't we also talk about what we're smoking this week, which is once again brought to you by the number2guyscigars.com. Patrick, you can go first. I know you got a Sin Compromiso over there. I think that's the number 4.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
I actually took it out of the box that we're giving away.
So they're gonna be short ones.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad that we got that out of the way, so that's not like a surprise. You already know that you're going to be one cigar short when you receive your winnings. And I know some people call that bullshit, but don't you think that that's how Steve would want it? I mean, if you're going to knock the guy down, he's going to be like, I'll give you you should do the impression, but I'll give you your prize, but I'm going to take a tax for the shit that I had to take.
It's the fucking tariffs, man. It's
the tariff.
Loss of cigars.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
It sucks to suck. Oh, man. I'm smoking a Sobra Mesa. Yeah, I haven't had one of these in a minute, so I'm going to smoke one of these. You know the cherries that You know the Luxardo cherries, the
Yeah.
syrupy ones. You probably know from the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cold draw. That's what I get right here. That Luxardo, like the syrup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right here. Interesting. Very good. But you can find Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust products at the number2guyscigars.com. They have an amazing selection of cigars and cigar accessories, stuff you know and love, maybe some new stuff. Order some old stuff, order some new stuff. Surprise yourself. Enjoy only at the number2guyscigars.com. And once again, cutting and lighting our cigars with us, as always, we have our friends from ST Dupont shaking up the legacy with the Perfect Ping, the Line 2 from the new Gradient collection. Pat has our accessory of the year, the Biggie Flat Flame Jet Torch Lighter. Fantastic. Look at that thing. It is sexy. That is just fantastic. That is the coolest lighter. For what it is, that's the coolest lighter. I love that thing. And then I have with me Nicole's brushed, I think they call it, is this brush copper, brush bronze? She has this lighter that I stole from her for tonight. This is an ST Dupont double guillotine lighter in the brushed copper finish, which is...
It's a weird looking lighter.
This? Did I say lighter? I'm so sorry.
Twice.
I meant cutter. I'm sorry. Double guillotine cutter, which is fantastic. I stole that from Nicole for tonight. I'm sure she won't mind. And ask your local retailer for ST Dupont today. Now, let's talk first a little bit about TPE. Let's get this out of the way. Look, it's no secret, Pat, you've never been to TPE, right? I know
Nope.
you've been to PCA.
Yep.
So for those who haven't been to TPE, just as a quick little rundown, it's not a cigar-only trade show like the Premium Cigar Association trade show and convention, where that is the big show. It's what some of us, like Coop, would call the Super Bowl, or even the World Series of the cigar industry. It's the big event every year. Everyone's in town. Everyone comes together. They got the biggest booths, the flashiest products are on display. I mean, that is the sexiest event in the industry. And while maybe consumers can't go to it because it's a private industry event, that is the premier event. TPE, a little different. TPE is it used to be the Tobacco Plus Expo, and now it is the Total Product Expo. And every year, cigars and actual tobacco products have begun to slowly downsize. Whereas next year, I don't think there's going to be anybody there at all. And I'll explain that briefly tonight and more in depth over the weekend with Coop. It's mostly alternative products. So vapes, CBD, the imitation THC stuff that I actually learned at the trade show is called THCP. It's like lab created. So the chemical in marijuana that flags you on a drug test and makes you high, all that stuff, it's called THC. For the people who, most people know that, but if you don't know and you live under a rock, it's called THC. So when you smoke real, weed flower, that's what makes you high. That's what they use to make edibles and stuff that you can get at like a dispensary in a legal state. So in states where it's not legal, they have come up with a process of creating a THC that's also kind of like lab enhanced through hemp. Not from the marijuana flower itself, but through the hemp. And so they have that stuff on display. And then you have, which the biggest tobacco product that I saw at the trade show, like by far, was the nicotine pouches, like the Zins. So like Zin wasn't there, but because I believe that's a Philip Morris product and they don't go. But there's like all these other brands like Clue and... which is one I remember because it was like on every ad. I don't even remember them all, but they were there, and I tell you, that was like the biggest thing. Like a lot of like the fake weed stuff, a lot of glass people for smoking weed and tobacco. A lot of vapes. You see a lot of vapes. I see a lot of those nicotine pouches. Like that is like the thing right now. The nicotine pouches, the little white things, those were everywhere. That, I think, was like the product category that really dominated the show. And then, it was the cigar section, which was like one corner of the trade show. Compared to, they had two floors. The upstairs floor was there was no tobacco up there. And then, hold on one second. I want to get my cigar lit. And then, downstairs where the cigars were on the first floor, Cigars were, when you walk in the show floor, is the left corner. And it went back a little bit, but not too far. And it was 1, 2, maybe 3, I think it was maybe 3, like 3 rows of booths. And then the other half, all the way back, was like vapes and shit. And then I would say the cigar section probably went like a third of the floor back. And then it was other shit. So it was really like this piece was like cigars, and then it was this and a whole second floor, all other stuff. I was last at TPE 2023. I didn't attend last year because I wasn't able to, so I sent our former team member, Kevin, for those who remember. He went and had a great time. Met a lot of celebrities and stuff. And so I remember it 2 years ago. And it's not PCA, but it was still a lot going on. So in 2 years, I went back this year, and, you know, there was a lot of people that were missing. But with the PCA moving earlier in the year, I expected that. And while we were at the trade show, TPE, we found out that the dates for next year's TPE are 2 weeks before PCA. And speaking to most of the people who were in attendance there, it was like, we're not coming back. I mean, why? A couple of the bigger names told me, we'll send one rep and just get like one little table, just because we want to support Crate Tech and everything that they do, which is to be expected. But, you know, they're saving their full setups for a PCA. And I mean, it makes sense. I don't even think it's really an arguing point. I mean, why would you? So yeah, I think this really might, in closing, I think this might be the last real year for cigars at TPE. I don't see why it would continue past this year. I mean, especially just for that reason alone. I mean, who's going to go to Vegas and then for a smaller show with a different clientele, mind you, and then 2 weeks later you're going to go to New Orleans and you're going to go to the big show with your regular clientele, I mean, in April, right before the busy season. I mean, I don't know, it just seems like a waste to me, and I think that's what most people think. So, yeah, that's the nutshell kind of take on TPE. And like I said, we'll really dissect it on Saturday. I want to save it for that. So I don't want to get too deep into it. So, that's the gist. And you can read. So I wrote a lot of stuff about it. There's a lot of full coverage of it on SmokinTabacco.com. If you go over there, you'll find it wasn't a lot of new stuff, but you'll find what was new, kind of my thoughts, stuff like that. All of it's on SmokinTabacco.com. So if you head over there today, you can read about all that stuff too. It's all up there. Just about all our coverage is already done. I only shot one video interview by request because I didn't want to shoot video, but this person, you know, it's hard to say no to, especially when they continue to ask. Matt Booth, day one, first hour, shot the video, and I said, that's it, I'm done. No more video. It never was the plan to shoot video, but he really wanted to do an interview, so I said, all right, I'll do it, and that was it. So, and you can find that on our YouTube channel. It's up there. Or in, is it on the website? I don't know if it's on the website. I should put it on the website, but it's on our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. Matt talks about, you know, being Matt. There was also, Pat, you find this interesting. I don't know how much I can say without offending Matt. I might have to, like, just be very brief and vague, and I'll definitely tell you more off the air. But, I mean, everyone was talking about it. Matt at the show, he brought something with him that he's working on that's not cigar related. And I want to say that anything Matt does, you should never be shocked. But I was like, really? Okay. He's got something. How do I say this vaguely without really giving it away? So, you know, have you ever explored, like, the regular Rim 101 website where he's got, like, his clothes and his, like, other stuff he makes, like, his jewelry and, like, his little, he, like, makes, like, little statues with the Johnny Tobacco on. So he does a lot of, I've seen him post on Facebook, like when he's working in CAD and stuff with his 3D printer, with stuff he's working on, and he's got a thing of his head with the ponytail, kind of like looking like George Washington, and he's made like some coins, and he's done like some other shit. So he took his head and his face, and he made something with it that was very shocking. And to Michael Herklotz's point, doesn't really add up when you think about it. But he, let's just say, Matt is getting himself into another industry. That
Was
serves
it like a sex doll or something?
not exactly,
Oh,
not exactly, but he's definitely getting into the pleasuring business. You're not far off. You're not far off. No, it's exactly what you think it is, and it's his face. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
He made me stick my finger in it, and I was like, he's like, do it. I'm like, I really don't want to. He's like, do it. I'm like, I don't know where this has been.
What?
That's all I can really say.
Well, I think there's nothing else to really say. I think everyone's on the same page.
Yeah. So, it's, and to Herklotz's point, he's like, well, on the outside, it's his face, but then he tells you the inside is supposed to be somewhere else, and he's like, that doesn't make sense, because, wouldn't it be?
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, I was like, I can tell you've thought a lot about this, Michael. He's like, well, I mean, I'm a common sense kind of guy. So, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, you should never really be shocked when it comes to Matt, but at the same time, it's like, I was like, you know what? I can't believe you actually went there, and then you actually put that out in the world. And I said, all right, I go, so I really have no interest in using this product because I think it would be too weird for me. I think that there is some people who aren't as personally connected to you who might not feel so weird about using it. So will other people be able to buy this? And he was like, yes. I said, when? He's like, eventually. I said, this is something you're actually going to do? He's like, I don't know. Maybe. I think so. We'll see. I'm like, you just gave me 3 different answers. But you know what? I mean, just keep an eye out, man. Or you know what? Just start asking Matt. Be like, yo, so when can I touch your mouth? And that's all I can really say. And just let him know. Be like, I will pay whatever demand you have to be able to be intimate with you in a 3-dimensional form. That's all you need to know. Yeah. It's weird. I said, does your wife have one of these? He's like, yeah, she likes to choke it out. I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, that's a thing. It's real. I've seen it. It's not like, I made it like a joke. He made it. No, it is. He has it in its real form, and I've touched it. It's real. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's real. It's not. This is not a joke. I can tell Pat's like, I don't know why.
I don't know how to comment.
It's, everything you're thinking. Yes. And everybody knew about it because he was being like, subscribe, but like everyone knew. They're like, did you see what Matt has? I'm like, yeah, I touched it. Like, I touched it too. Like, I don't know. I'm like, why? He had it like loose too. Like, it wasn't in like a plastic, like, how they usually come like a plastic thing. You can hold on to it. No, it was just like loose. So he's just like holding it. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, stick your finger in the mouth. I'm like, no. He's like, do it. I'm like, do I have to? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I really don't want to. He's like, do it. I'm like, God. Ugh. He's like, in the only thing I'll say is he was like, inside. It's very, what's the word he used? Animatically. He's like, it's very animatically accurate. And I was like, okay, that's good to know. Thanks. So yeah, so the head is designed to receive, not give. You are correct. It is not. It's not a male. It's not a male device. It's a female device, in certain ways. Chad, it was moist, which raises a whole another myriad of questions that I have. And it was strangely wrapped in multiple plastic bags. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I remember I went to the bathroom and I washed my hands for like 15 minutes after that, and I said, I don't know where that's been. So, you never know. But Terrence Riley fingered it. Michael Herklotz fingered it. I don't care what Willie Morante says. I know he fingered that bitch. He's like, I didn't do that. You know, it's not my style. I'm like, Willie, you fucking fingered it. I know you did. So don't let him lie to you. I know he did. But yeah, so it's out there. It's a thing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
The world of Matt just continues to get more weird. Anyway, so that was TPE. That was Matt. We don't talk about it in the review. He told me I couldn't bring it up, but I feel like I can bring it up now. I think he just didn't want me to talk about it in General's booth. You know, but me in my own studio, I think it's okay to talk about. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so he's got that going on, and yeah, TPE. I mean, look, it was cool. I got some feedback. Some people gave me shit for being rude to Matt in the interview, and I just want to make this known that I think what some people don't realize is with certain interviews, with most interviews we do with the show, I think 99.9% of them are generally serious, but it's meant to be entertaining, you know? When we shoot anything with Matt, whether he comes on the show, I shoot him on the floor at a show or something. It's Matt. It's for entertainment. You know, he's never gonna sit down and be like, "This is wrapper binder filler MSRP. We're gonna have." No, he's not gonna do that. He gets in front of the camera because he wants to entertain, and I know that. And I know how to interact with him on camera. It's all for fun. I pretend to give him shit. He pretends to give me shit. It's our thing. And yet every time I put a video out, I get someone being like, "Oh, I can't believe you were so rude to Matt. Like, what a piece of shit." The interviewer is like, you know, like not. I'm like, you got it's a premeditated act. Like from the moment we shoot, from the moment before we shoot to the moment after we shoot, like, you know, it's nothing but love between us, and we joke about it and laugh about it. But when that camera's rolling, it's all for fun. So anyone who like reads more into it than it is, just you got to get your fucking life together. I also had someone tell me that there was a brief editorial mistake on one of the write-ups on the website, and then the comment was, "Small mistake," but I guess that's expected when the publisher says that the coverage of the show was not the focus, which is not true either. That I never said that we weren't focused on the coverage. I said there wasn't really a lot to cover, so most of my extra time would be spent, you know, conversing and doing business things that I normally wouldn't have time for, which was nice, you know, to be able to do for once. But there just wasn't a lot to cover. But that doesn't mean that the coverage is not important. It's still our number one job. So I just want to make that clear too. Hearing some chirps, you know, just want to make sure people know I'm setting expectations. So that's it. That's TPE really. I know you didn't miss much. The only thing you missed was walking around the show floor, finding, you know, stuff to go look at or whatever. And, you know, and believe me, the time was well spent on the floor for multiple reasons. You really missed out on, like, the nightlife, being in Vegas and having not, like, every night you have, like, a major dinner to go to, or, like, there's some party you have to be at. Like, they have their industry party the first night at the nightclub. We went. I spent an hour and a half, and then I was like, I'm out of here. And I went and did my own thing. And then the rest of the time, I just enjoyed myself, you know. It's not like PCA. Like PCA, like every night there's something going on. Something to do. It was just a nice breath of fresh air. It was nice to get away. But, you know, that's really it in a nutshell. So that's that. You're still being quiet this week, Pat. I feel like I'm talking to a wall.
I'm letting you go about TPE. I wasn't there. I don't know anything.
No questions from
I'm like moral support.
Moral support?
I mean, every question I have, I can't talk about apparently. So, because it all pertains to that one topic.
Oh, I know you're gonna have so many questions after the show. Yeah, I know.
It's
I'll answer all of them too. I
don't know if I want all of them answered, but I just definitely.
I didn't use it. I didn't use it.
Okay.
I mean, he kept it pretty under wraps, literally. He hid that thing. What he did with it, I don't know. He had it in a backpack too, and I'm like, did he carry that on the plane? Can you imagine like getting your shit searched, like at TSA, and like they're like, oh, we gotta check your bag, and they open it up, and they're gonna look, cause like I need to know what this is, and they look at it, and they look at you, and they're like, oh, okay, you did this, and you imagine having to stand at TSA and be like, yeah, I did that, it's me, and you're like, oh, okay, and that they're all thinking like you just like to fuck your own face, but okay. I don't know how I don't know how you could do that. I couldn't do that. Even if I was like, I'm gonna make this thing of me. I don't think I could ever take it out in public and tell people that it exists. People are just always gonna assume the worst. Like you like to play with yourself, yeah, in multiple ways. So anyway, that's the gist. The other thing that we're gonna talk about tonight, though, that I think is probably more important, is our friend Steve. Our friend Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. He is he's up for a roast tonight. You guys have submitted some of your roasts. I have a nice selection of them in front of me that were submitted to the website, and we're gonna talk about some of them. And the best one is gonna win. Once again, the mug and the box are up for grabs. Real talk, boxes sealed, they're all in there, and you get the mug. This other stuff is just kind of extra flair for the show, but the box and the mug are up for grabs, so the winner's going to get these, and we'll ship those out to you this week. I grazed through most of them. Some of them I don't think I've read, but I've read through most of them, and I figured we're just going to kind of do this live on the air, so it's not really premeditated. There's a selection here. There's, these are chuckly, they're kind of funny. Then there's some that are just straight out like, fuck you. And then there's some that are kind of like a mix between. So, where was the first one I wanted to read? I think it might have been on the second page. Let me put this up out of my way. There was the one from our good friend Danny. Where was that one? Where's Danny's? Danny. So Danny had a good one. Saka loves himself so much that if he made a cologne, he would only use his sweat. That way everyone could smell like overpriced liquor and broadleaf. I'm like, okay. All right. That's a good one, right? It's decent. It was fun. Now, Brent had one. Now, Brent submitted a lot of them here. And they were all pretty good. Steve named his cigar the Mike Rita because it was the only option for him to find a mistress. That one was good. There was another one. I'm trying to find it. Oh, right here. Hey, Steve, just like your Lanceros, you too can also GFY. I'm like, that was a little aggressive, but okay. So that was one. Chad Mormon was in here. You're the only person who smokes cigars specifically to fake a grown-up persona while you still act like a Sasquatch who doesn't know how to play hide-and-seek. I think you kind of lost me on that one. I might have to read that one again. You're the only person who smokes cigars specifically to fake a grown-up persona while you still act like a Sasquatch who doesn't know how to play hide-and-seek. Interesting. Okay. Ronnie Newman. My submission is every time Steve comments on a social media platform with his patented snicker, he's either admitting that you got me on that or I'm obviously smarter than you and I'm a total smartass. Either way, I enjoy his content and see eye to eye on his humor. Okay. Didn't really tickle me too much, not gonna lie. Joel Resnick has quite a submission here.
Book.
I know. Steve Saka is basically the... All right, this is good. This is good.
That's a strong start.
Yeah, this is a contender. Steve Saka is basically the Ron Jeremy of the cigar world. Big, loud, and way too convinced he's a goddamn legend. The guy can't post a picture of a cigar without a 12-paragraph manifesto about the artisanal mastery he personally shoved into every stick. Bro, it's a rolled-up leaf, not the cure for fucking cancer. You're not Hemingway. You're not Facebook rants read like a drunk uncle trying to sound... No, you're not Hemingway, and your Facebook rants read like a drunk uncle trying to sound deep at Thanksgiving dinner. Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, more like the Church of Saka's bloated ego. Every damn blend he drops comes with some philosophical bullshit about how it's crafted with unparalleled precision. Dude, it's tobacco, not the second coming of Christ. And those cigar names, overwrought garbage that screams, please notice how clever I think I am. Nobody gives a damn about your deep connection to the craft when they just want a smoke to go with their whiskey. And we can talk about how every picture Saka looks like he's fresh off inhaling an entire buffet. That's mean. Come on. Let's not go after him. Let's keep reading. We get it, Steve. You love food almost as much as you love the sound of your own voice. I like food, too. I like to eat. Maybe spend less time polishing your self-image as a cigar messiah and more time realizing no one outside your fanboys is buying the act. You're not a genius. You're just another dude making overpriced sticks and hyping the shit out of them. See, this is one of those ones where I'm like, that was a little bit too far. Like,
it started very strong.
It started very good.
It started bouncing over the...
That began like, we're going to make a good joke. And then it went to like, I fucking hate you. And I'm like, I don't know. So the point of a roast is like, you say something mean, but you're like, seriously though, I love you. You're great. Keep making the cigars. This guy was just like, no, like you suck. So I don't know. I don't think he's a fan. I think...
I don't either.
I don't know. I think that was kind of harsh. I don't know. That was... Believe me, there was a lot there. But I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I think he really wanted to attack Steve.
I like the Ron Jeremy comment. I think that if that was the only sentence in there, I think that would have...
Dude, if he only did the Ron Jeremy thing, I would have been like, you win. That was... Because I read that. I was like, dude, I just can't. I almost couldn't read it. But then the rest of it was just... It went very dark. I don't know. So let's see what Daniel Newman's got. Let's see what he's got. Steve claims Dunbarton cigars are meticulously crafted with no shortcuts. Ironically, the only thing taking longer than making his cigars is listening to him explain how they're made. They say every cigar Steve makes is personal. My cigar's already out because I keep talking. They say every cigar Steve makes is personal, and judging by the size of his portfolio, he must have a lot of unresolved issues. If you ever need the truth, ask Steve after he's had a couple of bourbons. Actually, scratch that. Ask him before the bourbon. You'll get the same answer, just louder.
It's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I like that one.
See, now that's more like, I'm going to make a good joke, but like, you know, like at the end of the day, like I do like Steve, you know? That's a contender. The other Brent one is still a maybe. I mean, that one's like, I think it went a little bit too far, but okay. I'm not ruling it out, but I don't know. That one was deep. Let's see what else we have here. Rose of Saka round 3. Here's another one from Joel Resnick.
Holy shit.
Oh, here we go. It's another one. Steve Saka, the self-proclaimed mastermind behind Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, seems to think his cigars are the epitome of craftsmanship. But let's be honest, if his cigars were any more overrated, then they'd be a reality TV show. He's like the guy who claims to be an expert because he read a few books on the subject, but then when it comes to time to perform, he's all talk and no delivery. And it's as if the cigars are meant to make up for his lack of personality. His blend designs, sure, they're complex, but sometimes you wonder if he's just throwing everything in the mix and hoping it sticks. It's the cigar world equivalent of a chef tossing every spice in the pantry into a pot and calling it gourmet. And the names? Oh, please. Muestra de Saka? Sure, Steve, you've really captured the essence of a pseudo-artistic niche lord vibe. It's like he's trying to be a cigar sorcerer, but ends up looking more like a hobbyist with a closet full of half-baked ideas. But hey, at least Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust has one thing going for it. A built-in excuse for the constant flops. After all, you're just trusting him.
I don't think he likes Saka.
I don't think he likes Steve. I think Joel just really does not like Steve. So I don't know if I would even call this a roast. I think I would just call this hate mail. This is like one of those things you send someone before you try to assassinate them. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that, but definitely hate mail, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, I'm waiting for him to be like, Steve, like, I fucking hate you. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't really a roast. This is wow. This guy Joel. He's really. When I said don't hold back, I meant like, like be creative, not like I fucking hate you. Like this is getting aggressive. Let's see what Gregory Boothby said. Steve's blends are like his shirts, layered, bold, and leaving everyone wondering how he pulled it off. See, like that's good. Like
that's
I like
pretty
that.
Good.
That's like that. That's pretty good. That's a good one. That's not James. Let's see what James has. Say what you will about Saka, but his rabid fans are even worse. Saka could come out with a new cigar named MD-TLC. My dick tastes like cheese. And his cigar torque super fans remind them up in the day. That's good because it's true.
That's good, yeah.
It is true. He would do it and be like so nonchalant about it. They'd be like, I gotta have that cigar, the dick cheese one. I gotta have it. Can I get like 2 boxes? And people will buy it. They don't care. You worked in retail. I mean, you should know.
Yeah, people would love that. They'd eat it up.
Like, fuck. That's good. I like that one. He had another one too. What was the second one? No, that was that one. Did he send it twice? I think he sent it twice. I have 2 of them, but I think they're both the same. Jose Torres. Why in the world would we want to buy cigars made by a guy that is a seaman first class? I mean, seriously. Is that a job title or a favorite hobby? I sure hope that he was the giver and not the receiver. Then again, by the look of him, it stands to reason he Did I read that wrong? Then again, by the look of him, it stands to reason he messed the maybe it's
Spelling.
must be. Some of these people know how to write. He must be the receiver. How else do you explain the girth of that stubby little fella? He's as wide as he is tall, not to mention always sucking on a cigar, but secretly dreaming it was something else. Snicker. That's not what you did there. No hard feelings, Saka. Love you, but see, this is where you have to bring it back around. No hard feelings, Saka. Love you, buddy. Keep pumping out those bangers. Then again, pumping. I probably shouldn't give you any more ideas. Snicker, thoughtfully, Jose Torres. That is a good roast. You do the damage, and then you're like, dude, I love you. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
That guy followed the rules. I don't know. Joel didn't end any of his that way. He was just like, yeah, and like, fuck you. I'm like, okay. I don't think he likes him. That was good. I like how he had the whole thing. Like, he did his damage, and he's like, dude, I love you. You know I'm going to keep smoking your cigars. Just keep it going. All right, cool. That's how you do a roast. Jose is the perfect image for a roast. Let's see. Austin, submitting for the contest. Well, Austin, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to win because just say submitting for the contest with a heart. See that? Put a little heart in there, a little love. You didn't follow the directions. You don't just submit in and be like, hope I win. You got to play the game. You didn't play the game, so you're already out. So, Austin, Rutledge, this is going to go in the trash. We have another one from Joel. Oh boy. I'm almost afraid to open this one.
Yeah.
I think you are too. You're like, oh man, what are we going to... Let's graze it before we read it aloud. Oh boy. Here's a few more. Slow day at work, laughing emoji. All right, maybe he
the thing is, I think... When you read things like this, it comes off like it's really bad. I bet you this is a very joking theme. It's
all right. So this is the first one where he's got the laughing emoji. I'm willing to maybe see that. Okay, maybe he is laughing about this, or is it like, haha, I'm laughing because I'm gonna get you, or is it like, haha, like these weren't right? I don't know. Let's find out. Steve Saka. Oh, let's fucking go. The man who walks around like he's the goddamn second coming of tobacco. Jesus. But let's be real. Half his cigars taste like someone rolled up a pile of backyard mulch and lit it on fire. Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust? What a fucking joke. That's rough, man. I don't know. I don't know if I could give it to this guy. He went too dark. The only thing I trust less than his overpriced bullshit is a used car salesman telling me a rust bucket is like new. I mean, that was funny, but like... damn, man, you're doing blows at the whole. It's supposed to be about Saka, not the whole company. There's some great people over there. I mean, Saka's great too, but I mean, he was supposed to be. When you target the whole company, you're targeting fucking Yvonne, who we know, sweetheart. I mean, I would never. I mean, in all my years, Cindy, that woman is a saint. I would never. You know, Dave Lafferty, he's a good shit. I like him. I don't know if I could target the whole company. Like, it's Steve, right? It was Steve. There's some good people at DTT. I mean, we know and love them very much.
I don't know if I want to finish this one, to be honest with you. Just go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Joel's gonna be eliminated. I think he went a little bit too far. That was too rough. Is this the one from Danny I already read? Yeah, that was the one. Danny's was not bad. Rich, let's see what Rich has. Steve Saka walks into a cigar lounge, and the cigars start whispering, "Oh no, here comes the guy who thinks he can outsmoke us." As Steve lights up, one cigar rolls over to another and says, "You'd think with all that experience, he'd at least know how to wear socks." And then Steve takes a puff, looks around and says, "You all can calm down now. I'm just here to remind you who's boss, and maybe to borrow a match because, let's face it, I probably forgot mine somewhere." Thoughts?
I'm not following this one.
Yeah. It got away from me quickly. It started out like Steve Saka walks into the lounge. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Sounds like most jokes that begin. Somebody walks into a bar. And then it just kind of like stumbled down the steps for me. The last part, I'm like, who carries matches around?
Yeah, I'm not fucking.
Unless you're like 75 years old, nobody carries matches. They all, like, even the older guys have a lighter. Like, this is just, who carries matches? This isn't 1943. You know?
Yeah, I'm not following it.
I don't, yeah.
I just tried it again, and I'm still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still not.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
I don't even know if it's a roast.
I don't even know what it is. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah, it's almost like a wet dream. Oh, Saka comes in. Oh. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. I think I might just move on from that one. That one just doesn't make sense to me. Let's see. That's trash. Daniel Newman. Is this a different Daniel Newman one? No, we read that one. I think we're back on the first page again. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, we read all those. Sorry, I think the page changed on me. Yeah, because we were here. Jason. Saka Roast. When did Uncle Fester get a goatee? I mean, I know who Uncle Fester is. You know who Uncle Fester is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really love that one. It was lighthearted and it was decent effort, but didn't really tickle me. Why does it always keep going back to page 1? This is annoying. I want to stay on this page. This is where the newer ones are. Colin. Let's see. Colin's got a bunch in here. The next time you're tempted to drop a small fortune on a box of Dunbar Tobacco and Trust, remember, you could buy a real luxury, like a decent bottle of scotch or a puppy. I think he means pappy. Or you could just stick to chewing on a pencil to save yourself the disappointment. No.
It's a good roast, but it's certainly not the best roast.
It's not the best, but it's better than some of the other ones we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hi, I'm just here submitting. I'm not even going to do the roast. Well, you're definitely not going to win, so that's in the trash. Yeah, let's see. He's got a couple here. Let's see what his other ones are. Steve Saka is the human equivalent of a cigar store, minus the charm. Always peddling the latest release and always ready to tell you why you're wrong about your own palate. That one was better.
It's better.
That was better.
It is better. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was not Colin's best.
Upward trend. Yeah, we're going.
Okay, we're gonna move the first one to the trash because
Yeah.
that one
He's
was
got 3 total.
Steve Saka.
No, that is.
No, we had that
There's
one.
one above it, maybe.
Colin McClure.
All right, so
No.
he did 2 of the same duplicates.
All right, so let's delete one of those because I don't want to get them confused. Let's go back to page 2. Don't mention the V cut. He's got another one here. Steve Saka has more opinions on cigars than a Cuban dictator, and he's just likely to lecture you about them.
I liked where that one was going, in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Let's see. Oh, no, that is not. I don't know. What is this? That's from a while ago. Don Smith, PCLS. Nope, that's another Joel. I'm afraid to open Joel's.
Open it up.
Court Campbell. Steve Saka, the cigar legend who looks like he tastes his blends with a spoonful of mayonnaise.
I like that one.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but I like it.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it was good. It made me laugh. Court had another one. Let's see. The only thing thicker than your cigars, Steve, is the fog of excuses when you accidentally price them higher than the rent.
I like that one too.
Yeah. Court's a real contender here. That one's up there for me. Here's another Joel one. Here you go. You said don't hold anything back.
Let's skim this one first.
Let's skim this one because I think when I said don't hold anything back, as I said moments ago, I think some people took that a little bit too far. It was, put like effort into your joke, but don't destroy the man's life. I mean, come on. Even Tom Brady didn't get this much shit at his roast. I mean, and people said some shit. Some of these were worse than the Robert Kraft joke. You remember that one when they're talking about, and Tom Brady's like, hey, don't do that shit.
So this one is just a list of different.
That's the whole screen.
I like that. And you know what? And look at the bottom. Like I said before.
The truth comes out.
Like I said before.
Just saying, he ends this one. Just saying, all I smoke is DTT. All right, now we know.
Now we know.
He is a real fan, but he just really, really, really took this seriously. I feel bad for Steve, but like, goddamn.
Which is, and like I say, you can't tell the emotion behind it. So I was like, yeah. This could just be a really invested roast.
Yeah.
Now the Ron Jeremy one is coming back to mind now, and that one I still like that. I think that sentence alone is like within my top right now.
The Ron Jeremy one?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That one.
That might show my maturity level, but that one's sticking with me.
That one got me in the
But he has
bills.
some good ones here. I like the Oh yeah, no, I think this is one of the ones you saw early on. Steve Saka thinks he's so fucking important. I'm surprised his cigars don't come with a mirror so you can admire yourself when smoking. I like that one too. Remember we talked about that one.
Where is that one?
That's the first one he put there. We talked about that one.
Oh shit,
yeah,
that's right.
Remember that was like originally.
That was like one of the first ones then, yeah. Saka's so full of himself, his blood type is probably totally.
I like that one too.
See, these are pretty good. The other ones he spent too much time like thinking about how do I
He really likes the second coming of Tobacco Jesus though. He's been using that one a lot.
He used that one too much, and I think for that those ones should be disqualified because he like played the joke too much. You know what I mean? Like, you know when someone has like that one joke that they use with everybody, and they're like, I've heard this one. It's like that scene in The Sopranos when Paulie tells the joke about when the first blowjob you got, what was the guy's name, and then he's like, hey Tone, and he tells the whole fucking joke again. It's like, all right, we heard you the first time. Like, it's not that funny. Like, come on. How many times are you going to use the Tobacco Jesus? Steve Saka doesn't just make cigars. He makes lectures wrapped in tobacco, and you better take notes while you smoke. If I hear Steve Saka say meticulous craftsmanship one more time, I'm going to roll a cigar out of my frustration and call it shut the fuck up. That was pretty good. You know what's funny? And I know that John and Steve love each other very much. But it's too bad, Carney. Carney's got a couple of things that he's said to me before. And it's like he wouldn't be eligible anyway, but it's too, like he was like, it's funny. He's like, I love Steve, don't get me wrong. He's like, but you ever notice how Steve's the only guy who likes to use Nika and ligas. Like he's like talking about I'm gonna go down to Nika and work on some new ligas. He's like one of the whitest people in this business, and even the people who are Hispanic who come from these countries who make cigars. He's like even they don't talk that way. He's like, "Yes, Steve, I'm going down to Nika to make my ligas." That was funny. I like that. But again, John's ineligible. So the only thing bigger than Steve Saka's cigars is his ego. I feel like I've heard that line too many times. It's like, oh, his ego. Like, okay, like that's not that funny because it's kind of like it's like a soft talk. Like, okay, Saka's so full of okay, I don't like that one. Okay, I think that's enough for now, but I always got more. Yeah, we know you have a lot, Joel.
I like the mirror one. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my tops.
Yeah. That one, the Ron Jeremy one.
The Ron Jeremy one I like a lot.
This one I like too. Your cigars may burn slow, but your social media is professed and you go after a bad review. No, not that one. What was the other one the court had? Oh, I didn't see this one. For a man with such a fine taste, you sure dress like the guy who runs the karaoke machine at a gas station bar. I don't know if I quite follow that. Like, I get the joke, but I just don't know if I visualize. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What does the karaoke guy at the gas station bar look like?
That's what
I don't. You know what? We don't really have that around here, so I don't think we're used to that. So we don't really know. We don't do that in New Hampshire. So for us, it's like I just don't get it. Wherever you live, you could be spot on. We don't know. Because we don't live there. We don't have gas station bars. Like, gas station is just a gas station here. We're too old school up here in New Hampshire. It's not, it's very rustic. I would say it's very rustic up here. It's very, we don't have anything too fancy. Like you hear about these gas stations in like the Midwest and like Buc-ee's and all that. Like we don't have anything like that here. We don't have Wawa here. We have Cumberland Farms. Best you get there is maybe a pre-made sandwich and drinks out of the fridge. I don't know. There's nothing fancy at our gas stations. I don't know what that means. I will tell you though that some of the people work at the gas stations here, or if you go down over the border into Massachusetts, yeah, they look like some of the things from Night of the Living Dead. Let's continue. Don Smith, PCA Alliance. Nope, that's not a submission. I don't even know what that is. Oh, I remember that comment. On the side note, this was when we did the story on the PCA Alliance. This guy wrote in and said, "Sounds like you just need funds, and this is just a money grab." And I didn't know if that was directed at me because I have nothing to do with it with the PCA. We should circle back to that. Maybe on a different show. Yeah, so that's it. So that's really the end of most of this. There's Joel's. There's those. Don't mention the V cut. Colin. That was has more opinions than a Cuban dictator, and he's just like here to lecture about them. That one started good. Jose, this is the guy that admitted it was a roast at the end and was like, "Dude, I love you." So, I like this guy because he made like the perfect roast. He had a solid jab, and then he was like, "Dude, I love you. Keep going. I'll always buy your cigars." That's the way it should be. Joel's first submission, I think, was the best, and then they got darker and darker. It was like watching Donnie Darko. It just kept getting worse as the movie went on. It's like... And
then Ron Jeremy gets pulled out. Then it kind of brings us back a little bit.
Yeah, and then Ron Jeremy shows up at the end.
And then it goes back down to darkness, yeah.
So, I mean... The Dick Cheese one was good, too.
The Dick Cheese was...
That was good, too. I would say it's down to Ron Jeremy, the Dick Cheese, Joel's first one, because it wasn't that dark, and he had some good shit. But I think the Dick Cheese and the Ron Jeremy are my two favorites. They were good. They were quick. They really made me laugh.
I think, my favorite one...
I didn't feel guilty reading them.
I like the Ron Jeremy. I like the Mirror one. And I like the Dick Cheese.
Let's read the Ron Jeremy one again.
Now that we have the context that he's not secretly trying to assassinate Saka, I think we can shed better light on that submission.
That was Joel, right?
That was Joel.
I think that was this. Yeah.
I still like...
Yeah.
I think the fact that, we're laughing when we just open it up. I think it's pretty obvious which one.
Steve Saka is basically the Ron Jeremy of the cigar world. Big, loud, and way too convinced he's a goddamn legend. The guy can't post a picture of a cigar without a 12-paragraph manifesto about the artisanal mastery he personally shoved into every stick. Bro, it's a rolled-up leaf, not the cure for cancer. You're not Hemingway, and your Facebook rants read like a drunk uncle trying to sound deep at Thanksgiving.
So honestly,
I think is the one.
That paragraph, I think, is like, fuck the other stuff. I think it's whatever, but that one's, I like that one a lot. I think that's my vote.
I think so too.
And we laughed every time we looked at it.
I know. That one just, like, I opened it and I couldn't even read it. I was like, this is just too good.
Yeah, that has to be it.
Now that I know he doesn't just hate Steve, I'm like, I feel better about giving it to him. But if it was just like, no, I don't like it, I'm just using this, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to reward you with Saka's products if you really don't like them. So now that I know, I'm like, all right, he'll actually appreciate this. He likes Steve. But just so you know, this was all read on the record. So, you know, some of you guys that might run into Steve at an event, he knows who you are. He's gonna look at you and go, I fucking heard what you said. So you know, I know what you said about me. Yeah. So I think we have our answer. I think it's gonna be Joel. I think we got Joel here. We got Joel Resnick, who I think he's gonna take this home with his Ron Jeremy joke.
Yep.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Wow, that was good. I liked that one a lot. I still think Nick Perdomo tells the best Saka joke of all time. I told you about that one, right? The one from the event? Yeah. And I don't know if we talked about it yet on the show, because I think... Did I get the email after our last show? So an email went out from the PCA that at the trade show this year, United Cigars is sponsoring a comedians event, which is similar to what we saw at the Two Guys New England Cigar Expo event, which had, and I think most of those same people, plus more, I think are going to be involved. Like Nick Perdomo, Steve Saka, I think both of the Aroa brothers, I think Rafael Nadal, Oliver Nouveau. I can't remember. It's out there somewhere. It's on the website, but they're going to do it at PCA, and they're going to do where they're going to make jabs at each other. I think it's going to be great. And now that those guys have had a first run at it, that was pretty good. I think they're going to come better prepared. If they don't, I'm going to be severely disappointed. But I think I'm excited for that. That's going to be hilarious. As much as I'd love Nick to tell that joke again with the industry as his audience, because I think it would fucking kill, I also am like, but I want to see him bring some new material too. So, maybe he can get an honorable mention of that joke. I don't know. So, all right, Joel, you got it, buddy. You really, I mean, he in fairness, Joel submitted a lot. But it just took that one paragraph to really bring it all home. So, the Ron Jeremy of the cigar world, big, loud, and way too convinced he's a goddamn legend. You know, I don't know if I'd put it in those terms, but I could see the Ron Jeremy thing. I mean, he's kind of like a Ron Jeremy. I mean, everybody knows him, and he's, you know, he lets it swing, you know? I mean, look, he's good. He dominates the half-wheel consensus every year. I mean, you can't deny. I mean, he has some greatness to him, you know? He's kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's really good. And listen, I don't want to get into this whole bullshit with look, people all hate the Chiefs now, the officials, whatever. Stop it. Just stop it. Like, I don't want to hear it. Okay, just look. I sympathize with Chiefs fans because as Patriots fans, we had to take the shit for so long. So I know how they feel. Now, people have told me, I'm so sorry I gave you guys shit. The Chiefs fans are worse. I appreciate the apology, but you know what? It's their time, and I know what it's like to take shit all the time. So I sympathize. I'm a Chiefs guy in this retrospect because I understand where they're all coming from. But he's kind of like Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's still pretty damn good. He's been winning a lot of Super Bowls. I mean, Tom is still, way ahead of him, but he has the chance to be something great. He might not catch Tom, but he might come close. That's kind of like where I see Steve. He, year after year, he dominates, and he does very well. And he hasn't been around as long as some of these other great names that have been around for almost, 100 years, 60 years, 75 years. That, they've been doing some shit, but he's carving his path. You got to give him credit. He's pretty damn good at what he does. I mean, his cigars sell, they perform. He captures the buzz. I mean, that's not easy to do. It's not, and you should know that too. I mean, it's not easy to do. So you do have to give the guy credit. He is pretty damn good at what he does. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. So all right, so Joel, you're gonna get a DTT mug, and you're gonna get a box of Sin Compromiso. I believe these are number 4s, right?
Yep.
These are the number 4s. So these are for you. And they are stamped May of 24. So yeah, these are. Is that the boxing date? That's the boxing date,
That's
right?
when it's boxed, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, these have been sitting in here for almost a year. So yeah, these got some Sin Compromiso selection number 4, 5 by 54, 13 count box. There you go, Joel. That's all for you. You Ron Jeremy joke took it home. There you go. So that's that. Damn, what a contest. Oh, Colin. Did any of my entries get mentioned? Just hopped in. Yes, we did. We did read some of yours. They were good. Yours were good. Chad, we saw some of Chad's. Uncle Larry, Joel throwing haymakers. Damn. It's funny. So Uncle Larry, who I don't know who he is, but he is a frequent watcher of the show, so thank you very much. Thank you for being with us every week. But he made a comment. Let me go to our YouTube channel. It was funny. He did a roast of his own on the lone interview from TPE, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know. Well, it might not have been a roast. He might have been serious, but I certainly chuckled at it because anything that involves Matt, I don't take seriously, whether or not it was intended to be or not. What is this? This is not the right channel. How do I get out of this? Sign out. For some reason I'm not in the Smokin Tabacco YouTube account right now. I have to fix that. All right, come on, let's go. I'm live on the air. Let's go. Let's be quick about this. I'm not gonna go on my phone and verify. Let's just log in here. Okay, I'll use my fingerprint, Touch ID. Come on, let's go. I want to read this comment. I remember he made a comment about Matt, and it was, dude, really? I don't have time for this. Recovery email, go away. Dude, come on, let's go. Here we go. All right, there we go. For some reason I wasn't logged in. I don't know why. Here we are. So let's go to the channel. I just uploaded this. View channel. Let's go. Go. Where is our TPE thing? It should be on here. TPE 24. TPE. Spare Note Series. PCA for you. Why is this not on here? Where is it? Come on. Let me go into the backside of my account. Actually, playlist. TP25. Here it is. 3 days ago. So here's me and Matt. In the comments. Sheriff Photo Man. Good talk. I bet you had some laughs putting it together. Great job keeping a serious face throughout. Thank you. Glad someone had a nice comment to make on that. Jose Golf Piper 8342. Great answers, Matt Booth. Thank you for sharing, Matt. That interview was a jerk and disrespectful. I kindly disagree. And then I thought Larry had a comment on this. I thought he did. Maybe it was somewhere else. I thought he commented. Maybe he deleted it. Larry, did you delete your comment? I was gonna read it. It was funny. I thought he commented on that video. It was something about if I saw this booth at the show, I'd probably walk by it or something like that. And I thought it was funny. I was gonna read it. He deleted it. Oh man, that's too bad. Sorry, Larry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I thought you were still up there. Just had to bounce out and come back in really quick. But every time I clicked on your profile pic to join the live, it went to Cigar Dojo. That's interesting. Marshall, please send me a DM on that because I don't know what that's all about, but I want to make sure I fix it. Because that's strange. If that's actually happening, there's only one reason why it would be, and I would like to deal with that. So, that's interesting. But yeah, so congratulations to Joel. Colin, we read yours. Charles Joseph just joined How Do I Play. Submissions had to be in before the show. We announced this a month ago. Actually, more than a month ago. We announced this before Christmas. So I'm sorry, but you did miss out. Now, having said that, we have discussed that the next contest for February. So for February, if you'd like to get in on this, it won't be a roast again. The roast was done. So for February, we're going to do a photo contest. Pat, why don't you let us know what that contest is?
So we're gonna do. Do we say Instagram, or is it just posted any media with the hashtags?
I think any media is fine, because I know everyone kind of does. Like, some people don't have Instagram, but as long as you tag us and DTT,
Yep.
then as long as you tag us and we see it, then, you know, because if I don't see it, then I can't count it. So make sure we know about it.
So we want to do a photo contest incorporating Mr. Saka Squash here.
Yes.
So it's going to be up until the last week of February, or is it the first week of March?
You know what? I thought about this. Let's make it the first week of March.
Okay.
We'll do it the first week of the next month. That way they have the entire month.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So you just take any photo smoking DTT, or if you find, well, smoking a DTT with a Saka Squash. So it can be the small ones or the big ones at the shops, whatever Saka Squash. If you see Saka in person, I'll count that as a Saka Squash.
Mm-hmm.
Might be bonus points, actually, if it's Saka.
Yep.
And then, yeah, it's the best photo's gonna win another mystery box of DTT in a mug.
Try to be creative with it. Excuse me, I inhaled some smoke. Sorry. Try to be creative with it, though. Don't just be like, here it is. Like, don't half-ass it. I mean, try to, you know, play with it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, make them fun, you know?
But not as creative as Matt Booth is with
don't take Matt Booth. Don't
make a Saka Squash.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. We don't want to mention it.
Yeah, don't just.
We're hinting. We're not directly mentioning. So if Matt says you told, I'm gonna say I never said anything about. I just hinted that you had something with your face on it. That's all I said.
Yeah.
That's all I said. That's how I get out of it. You know, you use your imagination, but I didn't say it. I didn't tell you what it was. You assume you know what it is.
I can give bonus points too. And this is a off the record thing because I didn't even run this by you, but the CANH cigar that Saka's making is releasing
the Fiddlehead
in the next week. I want to say 2 weeks latest.
Oh, I know Penny has them already.
Yeah, so they're coming. So if you get maybe that cigar in with a photo with a Saka Squash, yeah, it might be some bonus points.
Because I saw Penny was smoking it recently, so she's got them. You guys don't have them? Do you?
I not that I last recall when I was there yesterday.
But yeah, they are coming soon.
Yeah,
they're coming soon.
They're shipping, so
yeah,
that might be some bonus points.
No, that's kind of exclusive to New England peeps. Actually, New Hampshire peeps.
Well,
because that's only New Hampshire, right? That release? Because it's for
but I mean,
New Hampshire.
Places that have them can ship them. So
That's true. That's true. And you know what? It gets people to buy them. So I don't know if they're going to be on twoguyscigars.com. I can find that answer out for you. But if they are, head over to twoguyscigars.com because that would be because Twins don't have an online.
If you call the shop, they ship.
They'll ship?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but regardless, head over to twoguyscigars.com. I will find out if they're going to be on the website. And if you order them from Two Guys, you can get them from New Hampshire. And if you use those, that's bonus points. It's bonus points. I'll tell you what, too. Bonus points. If Steve's doing an event near you or whatever, you can get yourself to Steve. And you take a picture with Steve in the Saka Squatch, it'll put you automatically in like the final 3 of like final decisions. Even if like it's just a boring photo, if you're with Steve, you automatically go to the final like consideration. That's like 5 bonus points. You know what I mean? Like that's like you found Steve and you did it, or you that's a lot right there. So
again,
I'll throw that out there.
It's creativity. So if you have one of his new cigars, that'll be factored in. If you have actually like Steve, that could be factored in. If you have some of his rare, like say you have your own mug collection, that could be bonus points. You have his cutter. So there's a lot of, it could be a unicorn you're smoking.
Yeah.
So plenty of bonus points here. Just make it a creative photo.
That's all we ask. Make it creative. Make it fun.
Make your own Saka Squash. Pose as the Saka Squash.
If you're hairy enough.
Yeah, there's plenty of...
If you're hairy enough and you can replicate that... Listen, I don't want to see your junk, but I mean, if you can replicate that yourself, I'll consider it. But all I ask is, whatever you do, if you ask yourself, would Matt Booth do this? And if you hesitate for a moment, don't send it. If it's not like, nah, then don't send it. Because I don't really want to get a bunch of weird stuff. I don't want to get dick pics or, I just don't want any of that weird stuff. And nobody wants to see that. So I love Matt, but no, I don't want that. So in closing, the next contest. So it's officially live, so you can do this now. You have until the first Wednesday of March, which is, what date is that? And that'll be the show when we do the winner. Where's my calendar? Here we go. So that would be the 5th, which, actually, let me give you guys an update on who's coming on the show. So, on the 5th, we have Mike Copperman from the Cigar Rights of America coming on. Oh, go back to month. The week after that, on March 12th, we have Jack Heyer from Davidoff / Camacho. And if you know Jack, you know it's going to be a great show. It's going to be hilarious. On March 19th, we have Oliver Nouveau from United Cigars. He's going to be talking about something cool that they have coming out. February 26th, we have Vlad from Som Cigars, who I caught up with at TPE, and he talked about his new 3D printing process for making his boxes, which we actually saw in action at the trade show floor. Which I don't think I posted a photo of that on the article. I should, because that was really cool. But he's definitely going to talk about that on the show. So we have some action-packed stuff going on. And then, of course, it's PCA. And I think Nicholas Perdomo is also going to be on possibly the last week of March, or at least right before the trade show. We have Nicholas Perdomo coming on, and he's going to be talking about Perdomo Legacy. So that's all I'm going to say. But Perdomo Legacy, something that's going to make a splash this year with the Perdomos. They're already on a roll, so Perdomo Legacy. That's all I'm going to say. Nicholas Perdomo is going to tell us all about it. So stay tuned for that. That was a good one. That was fun. I was worried there with some of those, but I think it turned out okay. So I'm happy. It ended on a good note. So congratulations. It'll be a different box. It won't be Sin Compromiso. I don't think it's been determined yet, but it'll be another random box. We got a bunch of them over there. We showed them all off a few months ago when we first started this contest. So go back and find that episode. It was right before Christmas. You can see kind of some of the options. There's Umbagog, there's Sobremesa, there's Mi Querida, there's Muestra de Saka, and they all have mugs that go with them too. So, and then there'll be a second run in the second half of the year of all sorts of different stuff, which I think Steve did that way because I think he might have some new stuff coming out at PCA, and for the second half of the year he might some of his new stuff. So, stay tuned. Stay tuned. But yeah, that's going to be our show this week. I think that was pretty good. So we'll end it on a note there. We'll talk more about stuff that's been going on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. All of us will be here for the Spare Notes series. As always, go to SmokinTabacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates. All of our TPE coverage brought to you by Drew Estate and everything that's going on in our lives.